Good afternoon or good morning, everyone, whatever time zone you're in. Thanks for joining today's session, Productivity Now for Government. We have two presenters today, Todd Kagler, our Strategic Account Executive for Federal Accounts. Todd has national responsibility for the U.S. Navy and NASA, providing these agencies with successful technology solutions to solve critical business issues and improve processes for efficient collaboration. Todd Kagler has been with IMAGINiT for 11 years. Todd will review the features and benefits of Productivity Now. Todd Stewart, our Productivity Now Solutions Manager. Todd Stewart will give us an overview of the support and eLearning platform. Todd has been with IMAGINiT for over 20 years and has been an AutoCAD user for more than 30 years. Todd joined the Productivity Now team in 2019. Prior to that, he worked as our support manager. And now, Todd Kagler will get us started with who is IMAGINiT Technologies. Passing the floor to Todd Kagler. Todd, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, Gladys. I'm going to go ahead and turn my webcam off so everybody knows what I look like now and know what the other Todd looks like, but I wore a terrible shirt for today, so thank you. I did want to mention we're going to be sending a copy of this recording to everybody today. So I'm going to be going through some of the main bullet points on the slides that you'll see that are my portion of the presentation, not necessarily all of them, the ones that we think are going to be important to public sector clients, which today's presentation is geared towards. But again, you'll be getting a copy of the presentation so you can review all the information that may not have been covered in complete detail. IMAGINiT Technologies is a platinum value-added reseller partner of Autodesk. We're the largest partner in North America, and to be a platinum partner is a big deal. You have to do a certain volume of business with Autodesk. You have to maintain a certain customer satisfaction level, a top-level customer satisfaction level within that volume. And then your sales and technical folks have to maintain a certification level year after year on the latest Autodesk products, the latest versions, and latest technologies they've created. So we're very happy to have that level of certification with Autodesk and level of status, and it really helps us bring the best value to our customers, we believe. We have dedicated teams to help our public sector customers get the most out of their Autodesk investment. And the first I want to talk about is our public sector sales team. There's 11 of us across the nation, Maryland to California, Washington to Florida, focusing on state, local, and federal. And we're here to make sure that your experience in purchasing Autodesk software, services, and training is as smooth as possible. It's important to have the public sector sales group because of the unique requirements, the procurement, the bureaucracy, and so forth of dealing with the public sector process. We're trained, we work closely with DLT Solutions, we work closely with Autodesk's government sales team, and have built a very strong relationship with them. We are Autodesk's largest government partner. We also have a success team, customer advocacy team that is dedicated to working with our government customers on licensing issues, minor technical issues, so that after you do get your Autodesk software and it's in place, we can help you get it up and running and deal with minor technical issues. We have a dedicated support staff that we're going to be talking about a little bit later in greater detail, but 16 folks ready to work with you on all verticals, civil, architecture, engineering, construction, and manufacturing, and also IT issues. And then we have a dedicated services team that are kind of boots on the ground, or a lot more remote these days with COVID, who help with on-site implementation, training, configuration, and so forth. And these are just some of the differentiators that we really want to make sure our customers understand, that we have offices across the country, training centers across the country, mobile labs, and so forth, so that we can come to you, you can come to us to make sure that this investment you've made is working the way you want it to. Next slide, please. What you're going to be hearing about today is the Productivity Now platform, which is a combination of e-learning for nearly all the Autodesk products. So anything that you might have in one of the collections, whether it's the AEC collection, M&E collection, product manufacturing collection, Any class you could come and take at one of our training centers or live online, we're basically going to be able to support in our e-learning platform. An extensive database of all types of searchable content and support to allow live interaction on things that come up just through the regular course of using the software. These allow complex organizations, such as we see generally in the public sector, to maintain education amongst a transient workforce, collaborative efforts amongst departments that you work with within and outside your agency, and contractors. Reduce downtime so that you can meet project deadlines. I do want to mention here that everything you're going to see is browser-based. One of the big things that we come across a lot in public sector is, am I going to be able to have access to it? DoD IT security oftentimes will block things that go out and go to external websites and so forth. This is all browser-based. Everything is all the content is embedded, and we have it working in secure environments. I'm pretty sure all DoD agencies at some level are using this already. Next slide, please. I want to concentrate a little bit on the left-hand side of this. Again, the right-hand side are some statistics about, benefits of training and development of workers. The stuff on the left-hand side, I think, is stuff that really pertains to public sector clients. Technology and people are changing. Folks coming in the door have exposure coming out of school that are exposure to the latest Autodesk products, the latest Revit, the latest Inventor, the latest Civil 3D. That's what they want to be able to use. You want to have a platform or ecosystem that's using that. You want to be able to train your current people to use that software as well. Software versions change, new versions of software become available. New software itself becomes available. Suddenly you might need to be using Inventor instead of AutoCAD, AutoCAD Mechanical instead of AutoCAD, and the ability just to have a platform ready to train you or to update your people at your fingertips instead of have to go through a bureaucratic process of purchasing training or education makes life a lot easier for you. And this can be done on a small scale or a big scale. I mean, it can be done, in a department of, 10 people that suddenly have exposure to a new product and need to learn how to use it, or a whole agency. A few years ago, the Coast Guard was going to be upgrading to a new version of AutoCAD, and they needed a platform that was going to provide consistent training across the whole agency. And they used this platform, ProductivityNOW, to make sure that everybody was trained properly in AutoCAD over the course of an 8-month period, and they were very happy with the results. Next slide, please. Thank you. A couple of things that we hear from our customers who are very happy with the use of this is that it helps get everybody speaking the same language. I think folks on the line and watching this today know that there's many paths you can take to start a project and end a project using the software to go down a path and get there. You can go several different ways. What we're advocating with training and development of employees is to know the best way to get there. That way down the line, when you're collaborating with other groups, things work in the best possible way. You can add your own content to the portal. You'll see that when Todd Stewart takes over. Maybe you want to post some of your own procedures, some of your own training, things like that. IMAGINiT has used this platform itself when we get new technology. When we got Microsoft Teams, we use that to train on. You're also able to set up learning paths for small or large groups, so that if suddenly right now all the 2022 products are coming out, if you wanted to have all your folks do the Revit 22 upgrade class, you could assign that to them. Maybe you wanted to give them 8 weeks to do it. You could assign a group of folks 8 weeks to do that class. So it's a very versatile tool, not just from the content side, but from the administrative side. Next slide, please. Hand in hand with the ability to not only take classes, research information in the database, learn on your own, the entire user base involved with ProductivityNOW has the ability to pick up the phone and reach out to our technical support center. When I look at this slide, I see all the ways you can interact with the support center, create a case, They're open 8 to 8, covering all the continental United States. But the thing that I like most about our technical support center is how cases are handled. They're triaged based on two things. How serious of an issue it is all your software down? Are you not able to meet a deadline you have to complete today? To something, maybe it's a minor issue, and we ask you to do that. So it's not something we're determining, it's something we're asking you to determine. And then it's assigned to an expert based on what the issue is. So is it a Civil 3D issue, a Revit issue, an Inventor issue? You're going to talk to a person who is an expert in that field. We have 16 people dedicated to this department, so you're going to be talking to somebody who works in that piece of software all of the time. There's a very deep bench of folks ready to help you, so that person is back up and running as quickly as possible, not leaning on others within the organization and slowing them down too. Next, please. Thank you. This is my last slide. I wanted to point out here before we get into a testimonial and then to Todd Stewart that public sector clients rarely work in a vacuum. In most cases, you're working with other departments within your own agency, sometimes other agencies, folks that are hundreds or thousands of miles away. You're working with firms, AEC firms, manufacturing contractors, things along those lines. And one of the things that we find is so effective with having a platform like this is suddenly you'll find out that you're getting files in new formats that you're not familiar with. Maybe you're getting a Navisworks file and suddenly you need to jump in and learn how to use Navisworks. Maybe you're getting, like I said before, an Inventor file and you need to learn how to use that, or you need to learn how to just learn a couple things in there, but maybe not take a full 5-day course. But you have something at your fingertips where you can do that. You're not in a vacuum. You're part of an ecosystem, and as versions of software advance as well, you're able to keep up with all of those processes when you have a platform in place like this. You can be aligned with all of your partners. We want to help you do more. We want to help you empower your staff to solve problems when they're stuck, to keep projects moving forward and on time, and have as much consistency as possible amongst all the parties involved. So with that, I will go ahead and we'll advance to the next portion, Kelsey, which is going to be a testimonial, and then Todd Stewart will pick up from there.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here today, and I want to thank IMAGINiT for inviting me here today to talk about our experience using the ProductivityNOW subscription. As you heard in my introduction, I work for a consulting firm in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we've been using the PNOW system since November of 2019. And I can honestly say that it's been an overwhelming success. We were very surprised about how well we adopted this system and how well it's worked for us. In my short discussion, I'm going to talk about the features that we use so far in PNOW and what effect that's had on our company. But first, instead of saving this to the end, I want to talk about our return on investment, because this was really the most surprising thing that we discovered after subscribing to the service. Now, some background information is that we have 85 full-time CAD operators within our company. And when so many of our CAD operators became interested in using the PNOW service from the get-go, we were pleasantly surprised that we saw a return of investment in just 7 weeks. And in our first year of using the system, we've tracked 425 completed courses. And to give you some background or give you some perspective on that, we subscribe to the Autodesk AEC collection. And as you know, that contains a lot of high-end software like Civil 3D, Revit, InfoWorks, and so on. And as you know, software like that has some steep learning curves. Now, with the way the PNOW is structured, it minimized that learning curve exponentially, and our users became more comfortable in their skills a lot sooner. Now, having said all that, I want to talk about the features that PNOW has to offer and how those features helped us have a great success with it. The first thing that we did after getting set up with the PNOW service was we took advantage of the Knowledge Smart Assessment feature. I can't stress enough how important that feature is. It's really what got the ball rolling for my company in accepting training. With over 80 CAD operators, it's always a challenge trying to decide who gets the necessary training and how much. From using the Knowledge Smart assessment at the very beginning, it determined the current skill level of every CAD operator. And then once they completed the knowledge assessment, the system automatically assigned just the courses they need to take, assigned it to their personal portal, and which cut way back on the training that they needed. And in effect, it saved us a lot of money from having to send people out on training who didn't really need it, you know. Regarding the training materials offered by PNow, you can't go wrong. As we mentioned, my company is in Atlantic, Canada, and even though we have traditional training vendors available in our region, the issue sometimes is not all the vendors have all the necessary training materials that we need. In the past, we were forced to cherry pick certain people to send out on training. Sometimes we have to send them out of the province, sometimes we have to send them out of the country, and of course that's a great expense. With the PNow service, we love the fact that training materials are available for every piece of software that we use across all the versions that are available. And once people are signed up into their portal, they can just jump right in and start using it. A nice side effect with that instant availability of all the training materials is that it leveled the playing field for everyone who needs training. Having to cherry pick certain people to go on training has been completely eliminated. So everybody now has equal opportunity to get the training they need or want. With regard to the training methods, there are several ways in the PNow system how you can learn at your own pace. This became the biggest selling feature that got my CAD operators really excited about taking training. With 85 full-time CAD operators company-wide, it's safe to say that everyone has a preferred method of learning at their own pace. People who were once hesitant in going to classroom settings for whatever personal reasons they have are now embracing the training on their own terms. Now, as you see in Todd's presentation, the training methods will range from using some simple quick reference tools all the way up to fully detailed courses. There's literally something for everyone in their preferred method of training. Now, I want to put the structured training aside for a second, and I'd like to talk about another feature, was that they use the PNow service as a search engine. When a CAD operator here is working on a project and doesn't have enough time to sit through an entire course, the PNow search engine is excellent in helping users learn certain functions in their CAD software on a moment's notice. This has saved our CAD operators a lot of time from having to sift through Google and YouTube and message board links, and it just helps them get up to speed a lot quicker. And because the search results in the PNow system use the training materials that they offer, it's a lot easier to filter exactly what they need and how to use it. Even after a year of using the service, my CAD operators are still going flat out on doing personal training. We really haven't had a chance to take advantage of all the features because my guys are very excited of taking a lot of new knowledge. But once the personal training is leveled off, we're going to be taking advantage of one of PNow's other features. Specifically, we want to take advantage of the work groups feature, where you can assign focus training to a selection of CAD operators. Now, for example, we can create a work group for our Civil 3D users on how to use the new Project Explorer, and which was introduced in Civil 3D 2020. You can also create work groups for CAD users on just how to use the new features in the latest version of their particular CAD product they use. Another feature we're looking forward to using is creating customized content. My company is currently going through a quality assurance policy overhaul, and with that came with an overhaul of our company-wide CAD standards and practices. Once we're done creating all these new documents, we're going to be adding them to the PNow system with easy searchable tags. So any new policies our CAD operators want to know about, they're going to be able to go to the PNow system, do a search, and the content will be there. The customized content is also good if you have to follow the CAD standards of some of your clients or even some of your sub-consultants. So you can take their content, add it to the PNow system how you like, and make it searchable. The last feature I want to talk about is the technical support that comes with the subscription. Our CAD operators have come to enjoy their technical support. Like with any software, there's going to be technical issues and training materials or help menus don't have the answers for. Message boards and Google are okay, but sometimes it's a challenge for the CAD operators to know exactly how to search for something. With the PNow's tech support service, you can describe in detail what your technical issue is, and the folks at PNow will understand because they're CAD users too. Our operators have been taking advantage of their email, the live chat, and the toll-free number options, and the support has been very exceptional, and especially replying quickly and sticking with the problem until it's solved. So we've been very impressed with the technical support. So I'm going to close this up now, and what I want to tell you is what I've noticed myself as a CAD manager since having the PNow subscription. Not surprisingly, I no longer get phone calls from CAD users or their managers asking me to investigate personal training options and then trying to justify the expense that goes with it. And I anticipated that a number of calls on how to use certain CAD functions would be reduced, but I was especially surprised to notice how many calls about AutoCAD being broken have been greatly reduced. I like to think with that, the amount of training has taken place to date. The detailed training materials gave my users a better understanding of how the software works and how to better understand how to solve a problem. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'd like to pass this back on to Todd. So again, thanks for letting me have a chance to speak with you guys today.
I'd like to get started on talking about the advantages of ProductivityNOW. It's really not just one thing. It is a solution for your entire organization, whether it be for searching what you need when you need it, searchable online database. That's one of the things that Marie had brought up. The other things it has is multiple publishers to official e-learning curriculum. And this curriculum is based on the Autodesk products that you do use every day. So with this, as I mentioned, it's a browser-based, as Todd mentioned. It's accessible 24/7, and it is a online destination for technical support and e-learning. If you want to go ahead and move to the next slide, some of the most powerful parts of this is really the searchability, being able to find those problems or answers to those problems that you're having right now, whether it's talking to our technical staff or it's searching and finding a short video, a workflow, document that will answer that question, what you need, so that you can get back to work and get your projects deadline, meet those deadlines. That is truly one of the most powerful parts about ProductivityNOW. It's not just about the online learning and formal learning, let's call it. Go ahead and switch to the next. In the learning in itself, though, the formal learning, you're going to find the curriculum is, browser-based. It has documents, it has videos, it has hands-on exercises, so that we accomplish learning in multiple learning modalities or learning types. What does this do? Each person learns differently, and we understand that. So as we put the curriculum together here in the eLearning platform, you have the ability to read, watch a video, put your hands on it, answer questions at the end of the chapter, quiz questions to test the knowledge that you absorbed this information. That's what's very nice about ProductivityNOW is we are one of the only ones out there who have this mix of, or if not the only one out there that has this mix of learning styles. Next. So we have many different what we call products or subscriptions to different products. Autodesk, the Construction Cloud, Bluebeam, Inkscape, Global Vim, Ideate, Lumion, V-Ray. Also, we have AIA accredited courses. What does that mean? Is that if you are a architect and you need continuing education credits or PDHs, these particular courses have a AIA accreditation number on the certificate of completion that you can submit directly to your organization and get credits for your ongoing development. Next. We also have optional content and tools. I think both Todd and Murray spoke about Knowledge Smart. The assessments are really just so that you can assess your current knowledge of the software so that you do not have to study every checkbox, every page, every video, but only the gaps, the one thing that you don't remember, you don't do it that often, and you just need to brush up on. It's high efficiency training, and it's with our Knowledge Smart assessment add-on subscription. We also have additional content that Microsoft Office, Adobe, McNeil, Bentley, SketchUp, Health and Safety, all the others down through Creo, CATIA, SolidWorks that you can add on at additional charge, but this then makes our ProductivityNOW your one-stop shop for your organization's learning. And that's very valuable because you're not having to go to this system to do that and this one here. It's all in ProductivityNOW. Not to mention, you can add all your own documentation or even your own learning that you develop. Go ahead. Customer success. This is extremely important to us and for yourselves. What does it mean for you? Is that we're very committed to ensuring your success. Please go ahead. How do we do this? By implementing the software, the solution, and a customer success advisor. This advisor will work with you throughout the term of your contract to help set goals, set up the system, create a custom plan just for what you have set your goals on. We're going to generate awareness with your people so that you change their behavior. That's half the battle, is really getting people to go from a training class here every few years to ongoing training and professional development when they have time or when they need to find something out, a problem they're having, they need a solution to. We're going to review and then adapt, and we're going to drive that value and prove the value to you. And that's done for us year-over-year renewal, where you continue to build yourself and your system so that it is your training, your processes, and it's an integral part of your company. Next. A couple, just things that clients, they say about us. This is what they tell us. I don't want to sit and, read everyone, but we get a lot of these where people are very happy with the platform and the solution, where we listen to this feedback, good and bad, and that's what really drives the future, what the solution will do, in the future, what features, what other content, things that you are looking for. Next. So next steps, really just contact an IMAGINiT rep for more information. Schedule maybe a one-on-one personal demonstration. Visit our site, website, so that you can further explore. We have videos and brochures and can really give you a better understanding of the entire solution. Not yet a customer? Then give us a call. We're happy to talk to you. We are always looking for expanding and growing our partners.